right, well, so another big fight for you, another rather quick turnaround. Just how'd this fight come together? Not jumping weight classes again. What was the offer here, and why did you think this fight was so interesting for you?
After renegotiating my contract and hanging out with Scott Coker, it made sense to come out here and fight for Madison Square Garden. With this fight coming to fruition for Horiguchi and Caldwell, being told that beating Dante is going to line me up for the winner of this fight.
Interesting. So even though it's at 145.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? It's a former two-time champ. I mean, he's a champ at 135. It was a short notice, so what the hell? Let's fight,
Interesting. And to go back to what you said about signing the new contract, was there ever in doubt that you weren't going to return to Bellator? Was that ever a consideration?
I mean, I won my 4 fights and did my part, so on my side, no. It was part of just leaving it into my manager's hand and letting him do what he does best.
Yeah, and from what you had heard, it was worked out very well. You're happy with how they've taken care of you?
Yeah, it's a guaranteed title fight coming out after this fight, so why not?
Yeah, that's very interesting. So what do you make of Eduardo coming up to 145? Do you think that's going to play much of a difference, or since you both, being in both weight classes at this point, maybe not?
No, I mean, he's a well-rounded fighter. He's a world-class athlete. He's a two-time champ for a reason. I think you get a better matchup between me and Eduardo at 45 anyway, not worrying about the weight cut. So I think the fans are going to get more than what they're paying for just in our fight alone, because it's definitely a super camp fight coming together with him being at Nova Yao and me being with Cub and TJ and Joe Daddy Stevenson. I mean, my guys are, Cub has beaten Hakron Diaz, lost to Aldo. TJ beating Barao twice. Is just, we know their strategy, we know their game plan, and we know their weaknesses.
For a fighter like yourself who's just on such a long winning streak and been doing things so well, how does that play into your psyche? Like, how does it affect your confidence, or do you just look at it as a new fight every time and not worry about the winning streak?
The winning streak is just icing on the cake, right? It's just laying the foundation down and training as hard as I can and showing up to make sure that I'm the best Juan Archuleta that's going to step out there to perform come Friday night.
So who do you think you end up fighting for that belt? Who do you think wins between Horiguchi and Caldwell?
I think Horiguchi gets it done again, honestly. Weathers a storm a little bit, lets him wear himself down, and then takes advantage of him and submits him again.
Is that a bad scenario for you? Would you rather have Caldwell just because if Horiguchi wins, you don't know if he goes back to Japan, which belt he defends first? Seems like it would make it a lot more complicated.
No, I don't give a shit who wins. I just care about fighting for the title. I worry about getting my job done Friday, and then taking the winner of whoever's going to win that fight.
So even if you have to wait a little bit for him to, do whatever he needs to do first?
No, there is no waiting. It's a fight right away, right? I mean, if he wants to fight the best in the world, he's going to be fighting me. Who else in Japan has an 18-fight win streak? Who else in Japan has 4 division champ? Who else in Japan has been beating all these guys in Bellator? Me. Why would he go to Japan and fight these other guys? He's going to fight me. There's no way around it. He wins his belt, Caldwell wins, they're going to fight me. There's no more running anymore. I'm signed and sealed and delivered to Bellator.
And you beat Eduardo Dantos on Friday. How's it go down? Is it a easier win than choking out Ryan Seacrest, or what happens there?
I'm going to beat the hell out of him and make him swallow his words that he was saying online, all the shit talking he was doing, he's going to come face on Friday night, and I'm going to face these words too coming in that night. I'm in here, I'm a professional athlete, I'm going to perform to the best of my ability, and I'm going to lead the action and lead the whole way, and I hope it goes 15 minutes so everyone knows that he's going to cower out.
Did she say anything? What did he say in particular that you didn't like?
He just runs his mouth, he's talking, stuff about teammates and stuff like that. It's like, hey, don't be pointing the fingers. There's 3 fingers pointing right back at you, So, if you want to run your mouth like that, look in your own backyard before you come look at mine, So that's all my advice to him.
Does that give you extra fuel to, that little back and forth, or is it the same regardless?
It's the same regardless, just like Horiguchi, just like Caldwell, just like all these other guys. My mission is to be the best MMA fighter that Juan Archuleta could possibly be.